Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Changemakers Breaking Barriers, our monthly podcast where we dive into the inspiring journeys of amazing volunteers who join us at the Human Foundation here in Villanueva Casanare. I am Lara Fontecha, and I am so excited to be hosting the fourth episode. Today, we are joined by a wonderful volunteer from the United States who's been making a real difference by helping our students improve their writing skills in English. In fact, this is the third time she has visited our foundation, and let's get to know her and find out what has motivated her to return to us so many times. Elena, it's such a pleasure to have you here today. So, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Laura. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. So, let's kick things off by letting the public know a little more about you. So, please introduce yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Elena Wheeler, and I'm currently studying at Warren Wilson College in North Carolina in the United States. I'm double majoring in social work and global studies with a minor in Spanish. I am a tri-sport athlete, which means I compete in swim, lacrosse, and triathlons. When I'm not studying, I'm either here or I work in my hometown in Colorado, or I spend time with my family.
That's great. So you've visited the foundation 3 times. So what keeps bringing you back?
You all, the people, both the students and the staff, the incentive and the motivation here just to learn, and the passion it's inspiring me. It's beautiful, and so I think if there's any way that I can help learn how to help, I want to do that. And the more I return, I hope the better I will be for teaching you.
Thank you so much. So please tell us, how has your experience been from your first time to now?
My first time, I didn't engage as much with the families of the students. I was more in the school. And now I have a bit more connection and I interact more with the families, which has been incredible. I love getting to know the students, both within the academic setting, and then I understand, maybe this is where this part of them comes in, or what are the different networks that support them as students.
Okay, so, and have you noticed like any change or any changes since you visited us last time?
I think it's more over time that I've noticed people grow. I have loved being able to see a student last year or 2 years ago who didn't have as much confidence in speaking and didn't have as strong a grasp of the English language, and now they're talking to me confidently and they're using all these words, and it's just been incredible to see growth as time passed. So that's been one of the biggest changes, at least that I've noticed working with the students, is just that evolution.
So I know that you've been teaching children at any and every of our locations. So how has your experience been at each location, and what kinds of activities do you do with children?
Yeah, I love them all, and each one is just a bit different. And the main one, kind of with the high school level in Villaluz, I work with writing, where I work on grammar and vocabulary, and just kind of how people understand a prompt and then convert that into a response that makes sense, that explores where they can articulate what all they want to say. So just editing that practice for English exams, IELTS, for example, in Cristales, which is more of like the elementary school level.
Yes.
I work on speaking as well as practicing for their Cambridge English tests, describing pictures and just kind of also helping however I notice if they're struggling with, if they keep on saying this when instead saying another thing would be better, then
Yes,
do a
this
side
is
little
right.
tangent
Yes.
and work on that. In Nicolo, which is the school with the Venezuelan kids, I also work on speaking more of a basic level, kind of vocabulary, introductions.
Yes.
They also figured out that I like singing, and so sometimes they ask
So
me
you're
to sing.
singing together.
So I'll sing a little bit too. So it's more, it depends on the class, it depends on the group, the students, how they're doing that day, on what we do.
Okay, so could you tell us if was there any location that you especially enjoyed working more?
I don't have a favorite. They definitely are different, and I've loved learning how to teach differently in each location. It's like, okay, how do I best work with someone who maybe is more focused, and then someone who also has a lot of energy. It's like, all right, I'm hoping to teach both of them, and so how do I meet them
Yes,
both
and
where they're
everyone
at?
is different.
Yes, and so I think it's just been a beautiful challenge, and it's reality of that's everyone's different. You have to kind of figure out how to work with each person, and relate to them, and yeah. So I think I don't have a favorite. I've loved them all.
Love
And
them
they're
all.
definitely all different for sure.
Okay.
Just like all of the students are different.
And I would like you to tell me if was there any like memorable moment with any student, any family student, or there is a like particular student or story you want to tell us?
I think the thing that stands out most to me with the stories and the experiences and the memories I have here is more a common thread of just generosity and just a welcoming that I've experienced multiple times. Like every time I go out, every time I have lunch with a family or just talk with a student, and it's a talk of like, it's human to human, even though I have a different background and they have a different background and we're doing different things. Our path, we connect and our paths overlap, at least for this moment. And so, and I've just been blown away just by how kind everyone's been and how welcoming. It's meant the world to me. And I think overall, talking with the parents specifically helps me or it reminds me again just how much an honor and a responsibility it is to teach, and to even to teach in any way, or to be in any leading position with people. It's exactly just people influence people. I impact the people I am around, and so that's with here. It's like, all right, I want to take this seriously. Like this is important. I want to be the best influence I can, and I'm still learning as we all are throughout all of life.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
So that's been just a reminder again of just how important that is to me.
Okay, and what like memory or what thing would you take from here that will remain with you the rest of your life?
I think kind of relating back to the inspiration that I have, but the importance of confidence to persevere. I see so many people do all these things that they have such where they have such volition and agency and willpower to continue. And it's like, I don't know if there could be a lot of obstacles and a lot of uncertainty, and yet with confidence in yourself, I see so many people persevere and continue and just achieve these really incredible things that I'm just so proud of everyone for. And so relating back to my personal and professional life, I think it's a good reminder of just kind of having a go-get-'em attitude, and to jump in feet first. So with my work and also just my own personal goals, I would like to continue doing that and cultivating that perspective.
Okay, and about your personal goals, I would like to ask you about, is there something here from our community or students that has impacted like your personal life or your working life?
I would say it kind of has just reiterated the value of education. I grew up in a family where education was a priority and it was taken seriously, and yet it's a beautiful reminder again of how an education in a school can provide community, and it has that potential of providing community, of supporting people, and then the goal, at least for me, is like, okay, well, how do I maximize this potential that a school has to best support the students, to best support the teachers, even because they also support the school, and how does everyone work together best? And so I think that understanding the dynamic of teamwork and the important roles that everyone plays.
Yes, of course.
That's
and
something
that
that'll
we
take
are
into
here
it.
like a family.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So
How to best work with that?
So I would like to know, what do you think about the work that the foundation does with unprotectable kids, like the vulnerable, such as the Nicholas children?
Yeah.
What do you think about that project?
I think it's a beautiful way to break barriers, and if there's people from different backgrounds that might not cross paths, it's a great way of saying, just kind of welcoming people. It's like, hey, I don't know you. Let's if we interact more, then I'll know you more and you'll know me more, and there's more potential for teamwork and working together to figure out the future. I think the kids are so incredibly strong. They come to class with such energy, and there's so much smiles, and I don't even know what all they've overcome. And I don't doubt that it's like whatever they've overcome, they still manage to come and maintain and cultivate that joy and the energy that they have, and I think that's awesome.
Without caring anything.
Yeah, it's like even with whatever whatever they've gone through, whatever anyone has gone through, showing up with the desire to learn, with energy, I think is really important, and not always the easiest thing to do. And so I think
that's true.
It's a good reminder, the energy that the kids have, and the care. They're just so compassionate. It's a reminder of I can still, no matter what I'm facing, I can bring compassion. Yes, and can bring compassion and joy. And so I think I've learned a lot from them, and
too.
I appreciate their energy, and and just with Nicolo and the school, I think it's a beautiful and important thing that the school is doing. Also, the integration of tutoring, where like the students in the main school also tutor the students in Nicolo. I think that's a cool aspect. I go to a work college, which means all the students also work for the college, and it's with the intention is to kind of contribute to the community. It's not like you don't just pass through this community, you contribute. You have a responsibility, and I think that responsibilities can bring a cool or a valuable aspect to any goal.
Okay, and talking about relationships, how would you describe the friendships and all the relationships that you have built with students or staff here?
It's different for every person, and it's definitely evolved. I spend more time with some people than I do with others, but that doesn't mean I value everyone any less. I've just loved getting to know people, and I'm always wanting to talk to people and asking how they're doing, and so I think that's helped me get to know people a little bit more. I respect everyone here so much, and it's just really incredible to be here alongside you all. So I love that.
And about the foundation, what do you hope to see for the foundation in the future?
Mm, just a continuation of support and trust with the students and with the staff, of um, just a continuation of like strengthening and building together, growing together, where if people ever kind of grow apart or there's any separation or divisions, it's like how do you continue to be together through it all, the connection, and trusting the students, because you all are so capable, and trusting the staff who are all so capable as well, and then how do you maximize and maximize that and use that to grow together ultimately. So when a student graduates from the school, they have that the confidence, and this is who I am, this is what I've learned, this is what I'm bringing to the future. And so
clear about the future. Yes. And about the foundation, what things do you think the world could learn from our community?
That's a really good question. So many things. I think from the individuals, it's, again, I want to go back to just initiative. The this is what we're going to do. This is important. Learning English, learning Mandarin, taking the LSAT, or whatever an aspiration someone has. It's okay. How do I start? It's like, we're going to do this, even if I need to, even if it's difficult, even if a teacher needs to first learn the subject to then be able to teach it. They do that instead of being like, oh, I don't know the subject, I can't teach it. It's like, all right, how do I learn it to then be able to teach it, to
find a way to do it.
Figure out how to do it. It's like there's not a oh, I give up, or I can't do it, or it's too hard necessarily. I think I'm just so inspired by the initiative everyone seems to have here, and it's cool, very beautiful.
So I want to know if you have any plans about returning, and if so, what would you do differently, or what would you add to this new experience if you come back?
Yeah, I would so love to come back. I regardless of if I do, I know that maintaining this connection here is really important to me. It's an honor to be able to, and it's not something that I want to neglect. I'm going to be graduating next year and starting work, and so I won't have this nice chunk of time in the summer where I can, travel a little bit. Yeah, and so I think it's going to be dependent on my work schedules and how much time off I get from there. But I really would love to, and as much as I can collaborate virtually, or when I'm here, or however is needed. It's important.
What would you do differently?
What would I do differently?
Besides all what you have done before, because you have visited many places. What would you do differently?
I think it would ultimately depend on just what situation is coming up, because I know each time I've come, there's different things that you all are facing as individuals. There's different things that the school's working towards, like different goals, different projects, and so my goal is to, okay, how do I best help with what you're currently doing? Kind of meeting you all where you're at, and then it's like, all right, you all got this. How can I just be? How I have two hands, put me to work. What can I do? For just a continuation of conversations, more conversations, more connections, learning, meeting new people, understanding all the ways that all the facets that support you all.
Okay, and what would you take from here back to your hometown? What will you take from here?
From Villanueva, or from my experiences, I'll take some recipes and some food preferences. Yep, some food preferences, whether that's just guiso or arepas, or sancocho, just a love of that. Also, learning about the history of Colombia has just been something I know very little of. I've just scraped the surface, but it's something that's important to me. I've read a book by Guillermo González Uribe, and it's Los Niños de la Guerra, and it talked about just other interviews with students, or not students, from people in like a family, like child welfare, and like their experiences with the conflicts of Colombia, and I would love to understand just all of it, not just the good, not just the bad, understanding how that relates to then be able to be like, all right, how can we move forward? So how can I best understand the history to learn from it, to not repeat it, to support you all, to educate myself. Like that's a responsibility. Me being here is to educate myself as well, and also I think that's more like a side factor. It's like I get educated being here,
Even though you're educated.
even though that my goal is and why I'm here is to teach.
And for someone who is like trying to be volunteer, which advice would you give them?
To come to learn, not only to teach, because that's like absolutely the priority, and to value the teaching aspect, but definitely have an open mind to learning, because I don't know how anyone could not learn. So.
Okay, and as we come to the close of the episode, I would like you to share with all a message about what do you want to share with the world.
With the world, thank you. Maybe just some gratitude. It's been such an honor to be able to work with you all, and I'm so grateful. I hope to do the best I can and to have helped the most I could. But just thank you to the individuals, to the families, to the staff, to the students for just being so kind and welcoming, and yeah, it's been an honor. So I guess I want to share some gratitude.
Thank you so much. So, Elena, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here with us today and for everything you've done for our community and our students. We like your kindness, your discipline, your presence, like have left a lasting impact. And I know that we are so lucky to have you as a part of M&M family.
Thank you.
So until next time, this was a change makers breaking barriers. Until next time, bye.
Thank you.